Revenge films.
My 2 children have gotten married and left the house, so I looked back on my life. I'm happy now, but it still gives me the shivers looking back on those days. It was a living hell. I got divorced to my husband Joe right after my second daughter was born. Joe was having an affair with a girl he met while I was pregnant with their first daughter. We tried making things work after she was born, but he was having an affair again with another girl when I was pregnant with their second child. His only reason was that he was horny. I knew that I couldn't do this anymore, so I asked him for a divorce.
I'm not signing those papers. Ever!
But you're going to cheat on me again, aren't you?
Yeah, probably.
He didn't even seem sorry. His attitude made me angry. Okay then, divorce it is. When I told him my decision, he went to his workshop and brought a big cutter knife and glared at me. What are you doing?
I said I'm not signing those papers.
Alright, calm down. Let's talk about this like grown adults.
How dare you tell me to calm down? You're trying to decide on our divorce, and you expect me to be calm? Who the hell do you think you are?
My baby, who I was still breastfeeding back then, was sleeping close by, and he was startled by my husband's yelling and started crying.
Hey, make him shut up!
He yelled at me. When I saw his face, his eyes were tripping. I could sense something was wrong, so I picked up my baby and tried to calm him down right away, but he wouldn't stop crying. Joe just snapped.
Ah! Shut up! I'm sick of you all!
His hand with the knife in it was shaking. It felt like it was just a matter of time before he attacked us. Please, calm down, okay?
This is all your fault! Go to hell!
He started yelling and running towards me with a maleficent look in his eye. I quickly covered my baby and turned my back towards him. Joe was yelling at the top of his lungs and slashed me 2 times on my back. It felt like a bolt of lightning passed through my body. I screamed in pain. Joe threw the knife in front of me.
Fine, you can have your divorce, but I'm not paying you alimony. This is your fault.
After saying that, he left the house like he was running away from something. My body was shaking with fear and pain. After I made sure he was gone, I called for an ambulance. Then, I called my parents and explained to them what had happened and asked them to come pick up my older kid. The ambulance arrived and I was carried to the hospital. That look on Joe's face was insane. Joe is out of his mind right now, so make sure you lock up well. I warned my parents about Joe. The cuts on my back weren't deep, but I made sure to get a doctor's note and officially filed for divorce a few days later. I said that I didn't need alimony or compensation for the treatment, but requested the full payment for child support in one payment, full custody of the kids, and to stay out of lives forever. If he agreed to these terms, I promised not to get the police involved. But if he didn't, I warned him that I would take my doctor's note and go straight to the police. Joe had no choice but to accept. He borrowed the money for child support from his own mother. I could care less about where the money came from. But Joe's mother was dissatisfied about the divorce, and I received a call from her after I got divorced. Don't get the wrong impression now. The divorce was all your fault. Even Joe thinks so. He cut me with a knife. Why am I being yelled at? I mean, the divorce only came up as a topic in the first place because Joe cheated on me twice and wasn't even sorry about it and said that he'd probably cheat again. Exactly my point. What does that even mean? It's your fault as his wife that he would want to cheat on you in the first place. If you had been a good wife, he wouldn't have ever wanted to cheat on you. I was pregnant and he wanted someone to sleep with. What the hell am I supposed to do? Well, you should have slept with him. That's your duty as his wife, right? Joe told me how you were too busy with your child and never took care of him in bed. What was the point in getting married to you then? He worked all day and came home tired, and you wouldn't even care for him. I feel so bad for him. Oh, whatever. Why don't you sleep with him then? It sounds to me like he doesn't care who it is. Now he's all yours. Why don't you take care of him in bed then? She continued screaming over the phone. Anyways, the deal was that he stays out of my life forever, so make sure he keeps that promise. If he breaks his end of the deal, I will take him to court. I hung up on her after saying that. I made sure to charge his girlfriend for damages too after that.
It was Joe who approached me, so it's all his fault. I have no responsibility for what happened.
She tried to fight it at first, but fine, if that's how you want to do this, I'll have to contact your family and workplace. After she heard that, she paid up pretty fast and left Joe immediately. Life was going just fine for me after that. My younger sister had a license as a daycare teacher, and she helped me out a lot. Thankfully, I also had many friends who were willing to help me out. I started off living in a one-bedroom apartment, but I got hired full-time and made enough money to give my children each their own rooms. If all goes well, my older boy will be entering college next year. We may not be able to afford to buy a house, but I had enough money saved up to help my kids out after they got married for a little bit. Things were smooth sailing. However, one day, I don't know how he found me, but Joe sent me a letter. I opened it up, and it went on about his life went downhill after he divorced me, and on about how much he blamed me for everything. It said how much he hated me, and it said multiple times that he should have killed me when he had the chance. It was so scary, and I got the shivers. It wasn't the last either. I continued to receive such letters from Joe. Every letter was pretty much the same thing, and I was thinking about going to the police soon. But after a final letter that said, I should have killed you and killed myself. The letter stopped, so I didn't act on it. A few months after that final letter, I received a notice that Joe had passed away. It was Joe's older sister that contacted me. She wasn't completely on my side when I got the divorce, but she did have enough common sense to be able to tell who was in the wrong. When she was cleaning Joe's things after he died, she found a memo with my name and address on it, and after giving it some thought, decided to let me know so I could tell my children that their father had passed away. The letter didn't say anything about the cause of death, but from what I heard that it had something to do with his romantic relationships going south. I was glad that she wrote to me, because there was always a lingering fear since he started writing me those scary letters. I told my children later as well. Maybe they were being thoughtful of me, but they both acted he finally got what he deserved. Both of my children are married now, and recently my older boy is inviting me to come live with him and his wife. I appreciate his offer, but I have friends that I enjoy my hobbies with now, and I'm enjoying living alone, so I'm refusing for now. The scars on my back are still there, and there was a scary time in my life, but life is good now. I don't think life would be so stress-free if Joe was still alive.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.